Welcome back to my channel where we like to talk about books, movies, TV shows, and everything in between. What are we talking about today? Avengers Infinity War, Ant-Man and the Wasp, and Captain Marvel. We're gonna go ahead and get the tearjerker out of the way first, because when I tell you this is a tearjerker, I saw many men cry in the theater, so we're just gonna go ahead and jump into it. So, Infinity War, what's going on? What did we see last time? Yeah, you remember Thor Ragnarok, whenever Thanos' ship was right in front of the Asgardian ship? Well, we pick up there, and immediately, Thanos, he grinds my gears. He immediately kills Loki, like kills Loki. He's done, he's dead, he can't come back from that. Then he kills Heimdall. Right before Heimdall's dead, he beams Hulk to Earth through the Rainbow Connection. So he uses the last bit of power to send Hulk back to Earth to be like, hey, Thanos is coming. And then Thor, of course, he is lost in space. So let's start out with Hulk's first journey, okay? So, well, first of all, we see Thanos has quite a few gems already. Did he go by the collectors? Yes, he did. He did, and we'll confirm that later on. But let's see where Hulk goes. Hulk goes straight to the New York Sanctum where Strange is, and immediately tells him, Thanos is coming. Thanos is coming. We have to hunker down. And that spells trouble. That spells absolute trouble. And who do we see right after Hulk is down on Earth? Thanos' sidemen are there. They're trying to get Infinity Stones left and right, and Doctor Strange has one, and he's like, over my dead body. And they're like, true enough, we'll take you. And so they take Doctor Strange. And Tony goes after them too, and so does Peter. Peter's like, whoa, something's going on. So Peter goes with them. They all end up in space. And they actually kill the one of the henchmen that takes Doctor Strange. There's two others that are still on Earth, and they go after Vision. And Vision is with Wanda. But who shows up? Steve and Natasha to save the day. They get Vision and Wanda to a safe place, Wakanda. Wakanda's a safe place. And so they do that, and they figure out, how can we take the gem, the stone, out of Vision's head? And Bruce is there, and he's like, well, it's going to take a lot. And then Sherry's like, no, I can do it. I can do it. And so she can do it. And so they have to begin that journey. But where is Thor in this entire situation? He's still up in space, and guess who saves him? The Guardians of the Galaxy. Thor is feeling defeated. He is like, I need to defeat Thanos. He ruined my pride. He killed my brother. My people. He just embarrassed me in front of my people and literally killed some of my people too. Not all of them. Don't worry, they survived. And Thor's like, hey, Thanos is going after more stones. I know where I need to be. So he goes to his friend Eitri, who specializes in that stuff, you know? He brings Rocket and Groot with him, and they make Stormbreaker. They harness the power of a star to make his new weapon, because his hammer got destroyed by Hela in the last movie. So that whole thing is going on, and then Peter's like, whoa, Thanos is getting more Infinity Stones. He's going to the Collector. They go to the Collector, and they realize he already has the Reality Stone, so there's just no hope in trying to get anything back. I mean, it's gonna be like straight up almost impossible, kind of. But Thanos, he steals Gamora back. Yeah, he takes her, he kidnaps her, and he wants to know where the next stone is. She doesn't want Thanos to have it. So Thanos is like, I got your sister being tortured right now. Literally, Nebula is being tortured, and she's being taken apart because she's like mostly part robot. So Gamora doesn't want her sister to be tortured anymore, so she tells Thanos where the Soul Stone is, and he takes her with her, and turns out to get the Soul Stone, you need to sacrifice the one thing that you love. And Gamora's like, you don't love anything. Thanos is like, nope, I do love you though, you're my favorite daughter, which is not something you should say to your kids at all. And pushes her off the cliff, and she dies on impact, and he gets the Soul Stone. Absolutely insane. So she dies. Yeah, it's dark. But who do we see as the keeper of the Soul Stone? Red Skull. That's where he went. All those years ago, he got sucked up out of somewhere. He was the guardian of the Soul Stone. Crazy. crazy things happen. But that's the only way you can get the Soul Stone, is by sacrificing something that you love. So, Nebula somehow escapes. And so she signals to the rest of the Guardians, hey, meet me at Titan. We have something to discuss. And in entry, they actually meet up with Strange, Peter, and Tony. And worlds collide. They're like, whoa, you know Thor? You're not a bad guy? All this stuff. A great exchange, by the way. The few moments of laughter we get during this movie. And they all end up on Titan, and they all realize, hey, we need to take down Thanos. Our one goal aligns in all of us, that one goal that we have. So they do that. They figure out a plan to get Thanos there and to defeat him. So while that's happening, there's also a battle happening on Wakanda, where a bunch of heroes are lining up, all while Shuri is trying to get the stone off of Vision so that they can destroy it and keep it separate from Vision, because they don't want to destroy Vision without Vision being Vision, you know? Because the stone is what makes Vision Vision. Very confusing, but I hope you understand. So, anyway, we get that whole exchange. By the end of it, Vision, he still has the stone inside of him. It's super hard. It's taking too long. After a really bad fight on Titan, where they all lose control and they don't get his gauntlet off of his hand, Thanos goes down to Earth. And he sees what he needs to do. He sees the last stone. Vision has it. Wanda ends up destroying with her powers, because she has the energy of the Mind Stone in her. And then Thanos uses his time travel power to go back in time and then grab it from his head and kills Vision. Incredibly sad. And then he gets all 5 stones and he snaps his fingers. Well, right before he snaps his fingers, Thor comes in and lodges his weapon into Thanos' chest, and Thanos snaps it. That wasn't a good step. Thanos snaps his fingers, and half of all of the galaxy is turning to dust. Before he snaps his fingers, after Thanos leaves Titan, Tony's like, we lost. He's like in absolute disbelief. Strange, he goes through this whole thing and he's like, there's only one timeline where we win. And he kind of reminds Tony of that before they disappear. It ends with Thanos having a farm on a planet and then him being satisfied with what he's done. So, yeah, that's super sad. Let's move on to the next one. So let's go on to the next movie, Ant-Man and the Wasp. This happens just before Infinity War, and the end lines up with the end of Infinity War, so we will get into that. Scott is still working with Hank. He's still in a little thing with Hope. It's so much fun, but they think they can find Hope's mom, Janet, Hank's wife, who has been stuck in the quantum realm. And spoiler alert, they do find her. But at the same time, they have someone hunting them down. And it's a girl who has almost this quantum sickness in a way. She kind of, they call her the Ghost. And basically they can go through, like, she has these, like, weird glitches to her. It's a horrible condition. And the gist of it is, by the end, they get Janet out of the quantum realm. And Janet actually willingly helps her and gives her her energy so that she can heal, which the Ghost, her name is Ava, and it turns out her dad was a partner of Hank Pym. And Ava's parents died in a horrible accident with an experiment that was unstable, and it caused Ava to have an unstableness about her body. And so basically it's Ava looking for the cure, but Hank needs it because he wants to find his wife. So when he does find his wife, she gracefully helps Ava and cures her for the time being, and she goes into hiding because there's just a bunch of CIA agents everywhere, because Scott was under house arrest because he got caught fighting for Cap in Civil War and all this stuff. But he's okay. The cherry on top of this whole entire movie is we see at the end, they want to experiment with the quantum realm. They can safely go in and out now. So Scott's like, hey, I'll go down there. As he goes down to the quantum realm, he goes in there safely. Janet, Hank, and Hope, who are there, turn to dust because Thanos snapped his fingers. So Scott is still in the quantum realm, but he's still alive. So he's stuck in the quantum realm now. He can't be let out because the person on the outside has to help you out. Yeah, it's an absolute mess, I tell you. An absolute mess. But yeah, that's the gist of this film. It's just like the original one. It's a fun little movie about PIM technology. A lot of what it could do can actually be harmful, which I think is another reason why we see Hank say the things that he says in the flashback of the first movie, where he tells the heads of S.H.I.E.L.D., no, I won't give you the technology. It can be detrimental in the wrong hands, and I think we see that with Ava's parents and Ava in general. What's important to know is Scott is still alive in the quantum realm, can't get out, but Hank, Hope, and Janet, they turn to dust. What are we supposed to do? How is Scott going to get out? We will see in Endgame. So, quantum energy, important in the future phases? Who knows? We'll see. We'll see how that works. But that's the end of Ant-Man and the Wasp. A lot of great stuff. We see good team-ups between Hope and Scott. So yeah, let's get into the last movie of this video, Captain Marvel. So, Captain Marvel, pretty crazy. So it takes place in the 90s. We meet a woman named Veers. She is part of the Kree, and she is kind of a warrior. She helps protect the Kree Empire. But during this mission, Veers is captured. She's captured by Skrulls. Now, Skrulls are shape-shifting people, they're aliens. They're seen as not good people in the world of aliens, but we see that a lot of them are good. But turns out she had a former life before she was Veers, and she's from Earth. So there was a whole thing that happened, and basically she was kidnapped from Earth, and her memories were just lodged back in the back of her head. She can't remember them at all. But the Skrulls probe her mind and figure out she's from Earth. So they go to Earth, and she goes down there too. She meets with Nick Fury, a young Nick Fury, who is not yet the head of S.H.I.E.L.D. So they discover that Veers was actually from Earth, and that she was part of the Air Force. And turns out there was a huge project that was going on. It was run by a woman who was originally Kree. Absolutely insane. And it was run by a Infinity Stone. Also insane. So the gist of how that all happened, we figure out there was a Project Pegasus, that was going on, and things started to happen, and in the line of fire, Carol figured out that Veers, whose real name is Carol Danvers, we see that she absorbs the energy from that explosion, which is the Tesseract, and so she gets the powers from the Tesseract, and that makes her superhuman. But she also loses her memories. We figure out that the man who is mentoring her, Yanrog, is actually the enemy, because he has been saying all these horrible things, wanting the Tesseract himself, and wanting to go after Marvel, who is, by the way, that woman that she sees in her dreams and all that. Turns out she was the Kree who went down to make Project Pegasus, and it was a part of a project to help the Skrulls. And Yanrog didn't want that at all. He thought the Skrulls were not good. So the Skrulls are actually good, and we get that. They were living above Earth this entire time as refugees. Carol helps them out as along with Nick and Monica, her BFF from before when she was living on Earth, and Monica's part of the Air Force as well. And so there's that whole thing that goes down. They fight a bunch of the Kree. So at the end of the movie, Carol helps the Skrulls find a new place to live, sends Yanrog back to the Kree, and just basically says, hey, don't do this. I'm going to be a threat to you if this happens again. But yeah, helps the Kree. That's the last we see of her. And Nick just drafts up this proposal for the Avengers Initiative because Carol's call sign for when she was in the Air Force was Avenger. So that's really the end of Captain Marvel. We get an introduction into more people from the galaxy, the Kree, the Skrulls, which will become more important. The Skrulls will become very, very important. We get introduced to Maria Rambeau. Did I say Monica last time? I meant Maria. Maria Rambeau and her daughter Monica, who becomes very important later on. Of course, Carol Danvers. Marvel, we just get a glimpse of her, but that's great. We know where she comes from. We see the relationship between Nick and Carol and how, and how good they are together. You know, they're best buds. They fight together. They fight crime together. And we see how Nick loses his eye, which is due to Goose scratching him. Crazy. But yeah, that's the end of this movie. It's a nice little taste before we get into the Avengers Endgame stuff, which is pretty heavy. That's going to be for the next video, because that movie's like 3 hours long. That's the recap of this movie and the end of this video. So yeah, if you liked it, give this video a like and subscribe if you want more. Hey guys, I just want to pop in here real quick and let you guys know that I've made a Patreon if you guys want to support. It'll be linked down below, and yeah, just pledge whatever you want to pledge, and there'll also be behind the scenes content that will be put up there very soon. So yeah, but yeah, that's about it, and I will see you guys later. Bye.